So, Hare Krishna, Nanavat pranams to all the assembled devotees. I would like to thank all the Japalites and the participant for this very auspicious Brahma Muhurta and early morning chanting. And now we'll move ahead with the Bhagavatam discussion. Just a minute. Mm, okay, I'll just rename it. So today we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 6, shloka 2 and 3 from Canto 2. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यभागवतसेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवतु नैष्टिकी. Before I recite the shloka, I would like to seek all your blessings and prayers so that whatever I have heard, I can just say it as it is, like a parrot. So, without adding any of my mental concoction. And I would like to thank our dear Shiksha Gurus and all these senior Vaishnavas and the leaders. Because of their causeless mercy, I have got an opportunity to purify myself. So this is an attempt to purify myself so that I can advance in bhakti and I can progress in Krishna Seva. So let us recite the verse. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.6.2. Hope you all can see my screen.
Yes, Mataji.
Sir, yeah. सर्वासूनां च वायुश्च तन्मासे परमायणे सर्वासूनां च वायुञ्च तन्मासे परमायणे अश्विनो रोषधीनां च ग्राणो मोदप्रमोदयो. Synonyms: Sarva, all. Asunam, different kind of life air. Cha, and. Vayuhu, of the air. Cha, also. Tat, his. Nase, in the nose. Parama, ayane, in the transcendental generating center. Ashvinoho, of the Ashwini Kumara demigods. Osa dhinam, Aushadhinam, of all medicine herbs. Cha, also. Grahana, his smelling power. Moda, pleasure. Pramodayo, specific spot. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. His two nostrils are the generating center of our breathing and of all other airs. His smelling power generates the Ashwini Kumara demigods and all kind of medicinal herbs, and his breathing energies produce different kinds of fragrances. So there is no purpose. So let's move to the next verse. Shloka 3. Rupanam tejasam chakshur diva suryasya chakshini karnam dishau cha tirthanam shrotramakasha shabdayoho. Rupanam, for all kind of forms. Tejasam, of all that is illuminating. Chakshushu, the eye. Divaha, that which glitters. Suryasya, of the sun. Cha, also. Akshini, the eyeball. Karnau, the ears. Disham, of all direction. Cha, and Tirthanam, of all the Vedas. Strotram, the sense of hearing. Akasha, the sky. Sabdaho, all of all sounds. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. His eyes are the generating center of all kind of forms, and they glitter and illuminate. His eyeball are like the sun and the heavenly planets. His ears hear from all sides and are receptacles for all the Vedas. And his senses of hearing is the generating center of the sky and of all kind of sounds. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानार्चनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां भावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते पताक स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो आचार्यपदाय निधाय कृपप्रदाय गौरकदामदाय नगरग्रामधारिणे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। So once again we'll just go through the shloka. So in shloka 2 it says sarva sunam cha vayuscha tanmase paramayane ashvino roshadhinam cha grano moda pramodayah. So 1 minute I'll show the PPT so that you can understand. So this we are talking in this shloka we are talking about cosmic blueprint. So always our Matrapati Prabhu says get some subtitle so that the audience can understand better. So I have when I heard a lecture, I thought I can talk about this shloka as a manifestation. So manifestation of Purusha. As we all know, who is Purusha? Purusha is none other than Lord Krishna himself, right? So Krishna, the source of all power, intelligent and creation. So in the first canto, it talks about the creation. And second canto, we are talking about the manifestation of the Purusha. So today, as I told you, we are discussing the shloka 2 and 3. So I'll just set a context. So what happens here is, this verse are spoken by Lord Brahma while glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is called Purusha Sukta. When Krishna, Lord wants to communicate, especially demigods will approach Brahma, then Brahma will call Narayana with a Purusha Sukta. When he recite Purusha Sukta, Narayana will appear in front of the Brahma. That's how it works. So, this verse teach one of the most fundamental principles of Vaishnava philosophy. So, everything exists by the mercy and the energy of the Supreme Lord. Nothing exists independently. How can we understand? Brahma says he is a secondary creation and he is depending on himself. Correct? So that is the understanding of the Vaishnava. Always the pure Vaishnava claim to be a secondary, the successor or something. Because the example of Srila Prabhupada, once his disciples and the public ask Guru, not once actually, they have asked Prabhupada many times, Prabhupada, you have built so many temples and you have achieved so much in this age. You are a very great personality and you are the reason for founding ISKCON and spreading Krishna consciousness. Always Prabhupada says only one dialogue. No, I am not at all. I'm an instrument in my Guru Maharaj. My Guru Maharaj and Krishna is the reason and cause for everything. He act like a Brahma, right? So this lesson is especially important because false ego makes every conditioned souls think that I am the doer. So Brahma himself, the engineer of the whole universe, teaches the opposite. What is that? Brahma's humility. So when we hear the name Brahma, we immediately think he is a creator of the universe. He creates 14 planetary system, all species of life, 84 lakhs, and all living arrangement, whatever we see, this Prakriti, right? So if anyone could become proud, it could be Brahma. All right. But here he says that whatever the intelligent knowledge, creation, manifestation, this creative ability, even he gave that ability, that skill, right? The power, whatever he possessed, the Brahma possess, has been given by the Supreme Personality. He just rejects. That is called the mode of Vaishnava. So this is a profound lesson for all the Vaishnavas, all the pure devotees. Even the most powerful living entities in the universe does not claim independence. Then why not us? Why we are? And what about, when we may become proud because we have a degree, we have a great job, we are the manager, we have so many wealth, beauty, influence. But Brahma reminds us that everything, whatever we possess, is borrowed from Krishna. So we have seen lot of shlokas in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So in 15.15, what Krishna says, from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness, right? So today, if one Prabhuji or Mataji is giving a wonderful lecture, or one Maharaj or one Acharya has did all these things, so they all are acted as a instrument in the God's direction, right? So this is what we have to understand. We are, uh, generally when I refer, we is the fallen soul. It's not the people whom I'm referring everybody. It's only the people, or the person has a lot of false ego or who is in an illusion. So kindly do not misunderstand. Maybe it is applicable more to me, but I can't say I or me, so I just refer as a pronoun we. So we in the sense the people, it's only applicable for them, those who are have that traits. Okay, so yeah, so here we'll just move to the beautiful the verse. I'll go to the next slide. I think it's better to go with the slide. So here, can you see the screen? Hopefully, yeah. So here, so look at the architecture of creation. The second canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, details the mechanism of the universe. So in chapter 6, Lord Brahma reveals how every material elements originates from the physical form of the Supreme. So Parikshit Maharaj, the enquirer, because of him, Sukadeva Goswami is narrating. But actually in a real context, Lord Brahma, the originator of this verse, and the Narada Muni is the receiver. So what we can understand is that Brahma's prayer called Purusha Sukta, right? So here in the same way, like how Narada asked, similar way, Parikshit Maharaj inquires the Srishti Tattva, the philosophy of the creation, and the Sukadev Goswami is answering. So this material word, the this material word is manifested by who? Krishna. But in what way? In Virata Rupa. So look at, we'll see this slide. It says that pure devotees do not desire to meditate on the Virata Rupa. Let us understand what is Virata Rupa. Then who will attract to this material manifestation of the Lord? Okay. So here you can see, 1 minute, I'll just slide it up so that you can see it clearly. Yes. So, even Prabhupada says in his writings that Virata Rupa is just an imaginatory, or it's a material form, or Mayavadi Rupa, but not an permanent or Nitya Rupa. So, Um, the original form, what is the original form of the Lord? That is Shama Sundara or Tribangi form. But what is this Virata Rupa? So Virata Rupa is talks about the material manifestation, like he is a cause, he is a reason for each and everything. I think in Bhagavad Gita connection, if he says in 10.8, and Virata Rupa is explained in Bhagavad Gita chapter 11, right? So, Aham Sarvasva Prabhuhu Mat Sarva Pravarthate in 10th chapter, 8th shloka, he says, I am the source of all spiritual and manifestation. So, when anybody, those who are not directly doing bhakti, they all are devotees indirectly, right? Because there's a spark of the connection, or we are the part and parcel, is a universal truth. It's a spiritual truth. So, everybody are there. But some of them it's awakened, some of them it is not awakened. So for them, he wants to show when they read Bhagavad Gita, when they say Ham Sarvasva Prabhu, they may question, right? They may question the scripture. So that is why Krishna has to show his universal form. So the Bhautika Rupa. And also in 9.8, so he says that material nature work under my supervision. And in so many, I mean, we can also understand once Brahma deviled, right? Bewildered. So that's called the super Leela of Brahma Vimohana Leela, right? So in 10th canto of Bhagavatam, it explains. So even Srila Prabhupada explains that, as I told you, he claims to be a servant of the Lord, right? And even there are other bewilderment of Indra. So in 10th canto, we can see Indra also, says that he will also get devilled, and because when they are worshipping Govardhana, right? So then Krishna shows them he is not, they are not an doer of everything, and it has come from Krishna himself. So Krishna is keep on proving in Govardhana Leela, Brahma Vimona Leela, that, so my, he's all other demigods or all the other instruments are insignificant before Krishna, right? So let's go to this Virat Rupa and the Shamasundara farm to understand how this Virat Rupa or Shamasundara farm is important. What is important? Yes. So here we'll see how this Virat Rupa and who and all see this Virat Rupa. So the limit of the divine eye in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is granted Divya Chakshu to witness the universal form, yet witness Lord as Kala. Devouring all universe leaves Arjuna terrified. So here, Virata Rupa is seen by many devotees. If we just thinking, we can see this Virata Rupa has seen by Duryodhana. How come Duryodhana saw this? Yes, Duryodhana saw when Krishna has gone to do, the Sandhi, So during that peace, what we say, um, Hastinapura for the as a peace messenger. So before the Kurukshetra war, right? Krishna requested Duryodhana, but he won't agree. Then he gave an order to capture Krishna and imprison Krishna, right? Front of Karna and Shakuni. Then the Lord revealed his divine universal form, Vishwarupa. But the sad thing is, did Duryodhana understand? Definitely not. Duryodhana saw this astonished manifestation, but his heart remained unchanged. Why? Because he is envious, pride, and attachment to the power. So that's why he refused to accept Krishna as a supreme personality of a godhead. But here is something different. So what happens here? Here, Arjuna is refused to see Krishna's universal form because he's a pure devotee. He ultimately rejects this terrifying cosmic vision. So what happens? One of his in 11th shloka, 7th chapter, he begs the Lord, please return to his approachable, very shant bhav, two-handed form. So then immediately he turns into Chaturbhuja, then the Shama Sundara. So then why there is a need of this Virat Rupa, right? So The original form of Krishna in Goloka Vrindavana, where he forms all the Nitya Leelas and different Leelas in the Shamasundara form. So we have to meditate, and but who has to meditate? For whom this Vishwarupa? So this Vishwarupa form or this universal form, just to control the senses of a devotees, no, not of a non-devotees who don't accept Krishna as a supreme personality, and they want to control, even if they meditate at the last breath, or um, if they want to control their senses, they want to meditate. How? Prabhupada writes in his one of the book, he says a general people, when they get some gigantic dream, like very terrifying dream, in that, big gigantic elephant comes and stamped on the person, or there's a big gained hill falling on the people, if they get a dream such, then immediately the next morning they'll be so sober, they'll so humble, and they go to the temple and they say that they had a bad dream, right? So they try to take up some religious activity, some spiritual activity, correct? So this is important for such people, so that they will avoid committing some mistakes. So they think that, there is some gigantic form and it will punish if I do some, bad activities and all. So but who work directly bhakti, they should not worship Virat Rupa. They are direct, who are in a direct bhakti. So who chants, who meditates, and who are under the control of our shastras, and who takes the shelter of gurus. So the person who won't do the bhakti, they must remember, uh, or they may meditate on Vishwarupa. And we have seen there are some spiritualists or Mayavadis. We don't want to say spiritualists. I think they are into so much ritualistic. Okay, so what they do, they remember doing everything. Even they say when they're drinking water, like they do some actions and they drink water and they eat and they do some prokshana of water. They could be a reason, but many of them they don't know. They just predict. But look at in our sampradaya. So we chant, the boga, before we cook boga offering, then prasadam honoring prayer, Mahaprasade Govinde. See, there is a to before we do, we should know why we are doing, and we should meditate on the reason. We should meditate on the purpose. So then come back to this verse. I mean, we are talking about the slide. So Arjuna, what he saw here, the Divya Chakshu, that is something different compared to other Virat Rupa. Even Yashodamaya saw this Virat Rupa, isn't it? So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows the universal form to Advaita Acharya. But what Arjuna saw is different. So Arjuna saw with the Kala. Nobody, no other than like Duryodhana, Yashoda Maya, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he shows to Advaita Acharya, they did not see the Kala Rupa. Means killing everyone, everything. But that is what Arjuna saw and he got terrified. Correct? So we'll look into the next slide to understand. Mm, yes, I think we have missed one slide. Yeah, this is important. Um, so here there are two forms, that is a dual version of the divine. So Virata Rupa I was talking about, as Prabhupada says, it is a material, temporary and imaginative. But the Shama Sundara, the original spiritual form, is spiritual, eternal and transcendental. So who can see Virata Rupa? As I said, the materialistic neophytes. But the pure devotees do not want to see the Virata Rupa. They just want to see the very pleasure form of Krishna. That is the original spiritual form. And Virata Rupa gives a reverence and fear, and Shama Sundara forms cultivates the intimate, spontaneous love for Krishna. So, as I told you, Arjuna has seen this Virata Rupa, even Duryodhana saw this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows to Advaita Charya and Yashodamaya. But who saw this Shama Sundara? This form is seen by all the pure devotees, gopis, and all the pure devotees of Lord Himself. So next, the subject matter of this shloka 2 and 3. So here Krishna says that um, all the varnas, whatever the four varnas we have, they all are amshas of the Lord, right? When we see the human figure, we can say the head is the Brahma, Kshatriyas are the arms, and stomach is the Vaishyas, and the legs are the Shudras. So here Krishna says in shloka 2. Um, Yes. Even Bhagavad Gita 7.9, all come from me. Who understand this can see only Krishna is the object in everything, because everything is created by Lord. Our ears, our eyes, you know. The pure devotee sees, who understand everything come from Krishna. They see Krishna in all the object. Look at the example of our Guru Maharaj. So our Guru Maharaj or all the Acharyas, even Ambrish Maharaj. So we always see this instance, right? When Guru Maharaj saw wearing a gap, and his secretary asked Prabhu, Guru Maharaj, what is this? You are wearing a brand t-shirt. Then say, is it a brand t-shirt? I thought only this is gap because Govindam Adi Purisham. And our Vadarajan Prabhu says, Matrapati Prabhu always says AP means you remember which holy place is there in AP, right? Tamil Nadu, which holy place is there in Tamil Nadu. He meditate on that. Look at this. So this creation has come from the Lord. So yeah, once what happens, these Chatur Kumaras, so they are basically a Brahmavadis, right? So when they went to Vaikunta, after when they curse Ajaya and Vijaya, they get into the Vaikunta Dham, then they saw the lotus feet, the Kamala Charana of the lotus feet of the Lord is covered with the Tulsi and Kesari. There is a nice fragrance which is coming from the lotus feet of the Lord. So then immediately they converted they transformed as a pure devotees of the Lord. So here in this shloka, Krishna says that uh, Brahma says, so he's both the nostrils, so the nostrils, whatever we breathe, all the pancha pranas, all is created by him. Even Ashwini Kumaras, so Nakula Sahadeva, for example, in Pandavas, even they are called Ashwini Kumaras, isn't it? So this Ashwini Kumara, they are the sons of Ashwini Kumara, and the Ashwini Kumara has come from Krishna. That is what this chapter talks about. And these aushadis, these plants which gives the medicinal effects, everything come from Krishna, and all the breathing energy is come from Krishna. That is what it talks about. So once Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says in a story, there's a flower seller and a fish seller. What happens? Both of them sold and both become friends because they're going in the same way. And once flower seller said, we are get tired, we'll take a rest. My house is nearby. So the flower seller took this fish seller to her house and they wanted to take rest. As soon as the flower seller went uh, for rest, immediately he got into a deep sleep. But this fish seller cannot take a deep breath. Why? Because her, what to say, the fragrance, lot of flower fragrance, and he cannot tolerate it. Why? Because she used to what? She used to the smell of fish. So what she did, she kept her fish box outside. She went, she kept next to her, and then she got a good sleep. So this is what we are habituate. That's why association is very important. So all good things has come from Krishna, right? So all bad things also, everything manifested. But the thing is, the intelligence will fall on us that we have to take the best from everything, from all the objectives. So then there's a one story. I think we're already running out of the time. One more, I'll just show and I'll explain this slide. The this focus. Next, we'll move to the shloka 3. The ice, the Lord ice, the Tejas, and the sun and the moon. So everything come from Krishna. This is what Brahma says to Narada. And the sounds, yes, when we hear the omkara or the holy name, so that is because of the sky. If the ether, the akasha is not there, then there is no sound exist, right? So then we can't do any kind of spiritual activity. And in this sloka, Krishna says that the ability to hear, I mean, Krishna can hear from all the direction. Even somebody asks, okay, you offer bhoga to the Lord, will he eat it? How will he eat it? Right? The answer is he eats from all his senses. There's no particular sense like us for Lord Krishna, right? So the same way he can hear from all the four directions. But we are the living entity, conditioned souls. We can hear only from the ear. Whatever people talk at the back or any other direction, we can't hear. So the Veda says the ultimate reservoir of all the spiritual and material sound vibration is the Lord Himself, right? So then, yes, so by using all his energies, all his intelligence, what we have to do? We have to do the service of the Lord, right? So then there's a beautiful story. I was wanted to talk about this slide, but there's no time. Then, because see, this talks about, Jagannath. Nowadays, now Jagannath Rath Yatra is happening, right? So what Jagannath Rath Yatra, Jagannath Ashtakam says, Jagannatha Swami Nayanapatagami. So that means the Lord of the universe be the object of our vision, because everything come from the vision, come from the Supreme, and that vision has to meditate on the Lord. Then that makes the perfect sense. And there's a one story of Upamanyu, but since there is no time, because Upamanyu is a one pastime from Mahabharata, Draumya Muni we know, right? So he has a three disciple, and one of the disciple is Upamanyu. He's very pious and very pure disciple of Draumya Maharshi. So what happens when he lost his sight, then Ashwini Kumaras comes and bless him with the eyesight, but he won't accept because his guru taught him that whatever you are honoring, please offer to me first, then you can honor. Then they wanted to give a medicine when he become blind, because he get into one situation where he lost his eyesight and he fell into the well. Then he says, no, no, I will not take any medicine. Don't attempt to give anything. He says, give it to my guru. Whatever I am honoring, I will offer to Guru Maharaj, then I'll take it. Then this Ashwini Kumara is blessed with um, his pure devotion to his guru, and they reward him from all the pure devotees, devotion and knowledge. So this is a one beautiful understanding that whatever we get, we have to offer it to the Lord and his service. That's the ultimate goal of life. And last thing in Prabhupada purport, because there is no purport in Shloka 3, but there's a purport little bit of Tirtha. Prabhupada mentions. So let us understand what is Tirtha and we'll wind up. Just one more minute. So Tirtha, generally we say it's a holy place, right? But Prabhupada says, even Jiva Goswami clarifies, it's a deeper meaning. So the true Tirtha is not just a geographically limited. It is a presence of one who perfectly knows the Vedas and carries the Supreme Lord within his heart. So there's a one pastime. What happens in, we know, no, this Tirtha Kurvanti Tirthani. So to understand this verse, there's a one pastime. Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Vidura, Vidura, where were you? I want to seek your prayers and blessings because we are going to have a Kurukshetra war. Then Vidura says, no, no, I was in Tirthastan. I went to Tirthastal. I went to Mathura, Dwarka. So many Tirthastans name he says. I said, why did you go to Tirthastan? What is the point? You are only a Tirtha Kurvanti Tirthani. You are only Tirthani. That is for the other people. But he says, oh yeah, I understand. Material people go and leave their sins in the Tirthastan and they get purified. But the pure devotees, they go and clean the Tirtha, right? So even there is a one example. When Krishna get into a river Yamuna, always river Yamuna's water quantity will rise up because she is too overwhelmed with the presence of the Krishna in the river. So even Prabhupada in Kumbh Mela, Prayagraj, when he went to 1977 or something, so he can't sleep throughout the night. And his disciples asked Prabhupada, why did you come here? Then he said, I have not come here to take the holy bath. I have come here to give Krishna prema to all the people. So understanding is that the purified entities like Prabhupada and Krishna and all the acharyas like Viduras, they devotees, they carry Krishna in the heart. They no need to go to the spiritual places to take a holy bath. So there is a Vyakti Tirtha and Sthana Tirtha. That is what Prabhupada wants to say. Even in Bhagavatam also there is a Vyakti Bhagavatam and Grantha Bhagavatam, right? Person Bhagavatam and the book Bhagavatam, right? So Bhagavatam is very important. Comparatively, I mean, when we compare, Vyakti Tirtha is very important, then the Sthana Tirtha. Because this Vyakti Tirtha or the person Bhagavatam help us to understand the Tirtha, Sthan or the Grantha Bhagavatam, right? So without him, we cannot understand. So with this, I would like to conclude, but I just wanted to see the summary, what we have learned. So this is what is the understanding. So when we saw, when Narada approaches Brahma, then Brahma explains, but this kindly excuse because the pictures are not that much clear. Then he says, from his nostril, all the Kumaras, Ashwini Devatas comes, and all the nostrils source of twin Ashwini Kumaras and healing medicinal herbs. This is what this shloka talks about. And the sense of smell come from the nostrils of Krishna, the Lord, and the source of illumination, the brightness. So heavenly planets, even sun, moon, everything comes from Krishna. So his abode is not shined by sun or moon, from him, Krishna himself. Then perception form has come from Krishna, and the ether, the ears, space, and the directions, sound, everything comes from Krishna. So meditate on the Purusha, meditate on this universal form. The devotees realize that the entire world is the body of the Lord. So with this, I would like to conclude. Sorry to extend for another 7 minutes, and I just did it little bit help of AI, but with the proper content I've given. So if any mistakes, kindly forgive me and kindly correct me. Next time I'll not do that mistake. So Srimad Grantaraj Bhagavatam ki jai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, all glories to assembled devotees. So kindly add some points and kindly correct me if I'm go wrong. So I'm ready to accept your suggestions and corrections. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, very nice class and very nice presentation, Mataji. We really loved your presentation. So I'd like to add few lines. I'd like to share few lines in Kannada for the better understanding for Kannada devotees with your permission. ಸೊ ಆದಿಸಚಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವರು ಇವತ್ತು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ PPT ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಮಗೆ 2.6.2 ಮತ್ತೆ 3 ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ನಾನು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಟೈಮ್ನ ಅಭಾವ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಬಂದು ತನ್ನ ಮಗನಾದ ನಾರದ ಮಹರ್ಷಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಭಗವಂತನ ಒಂದು ರೂಪನ ವರ್ಣನೆ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು ಈ ಸೀರೀಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರೀತಿಂಗ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ನಾಸ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೂಗಿನ ರಂಧ್ರಗಳಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಬಂದು ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ರೀತಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಪವರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಪವರ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಶ್ವಿನಿ ಕುಮಾರರು ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇತರ ದೇವಾನ್ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ನಾಸ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇಂದಾನೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನಲ್ ಹರ್ಬ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಿಸ್ ಬ್ರೀತಿಂಗ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಉಸಿರಾಟದಿಂದ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಭಗವಂತನ ಉಸಿರಾಟದಿಂದ ಈ ನಮಗೆ ಸುವಾಸನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ 2.6.3 ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಭಗವಂತನ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳಿಂದ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಯುಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಲ್ಯುಮಿನೇಷನ್. ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಣ್ಣಿನ ಒಳಗೆ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಕಣ್ಣು ಗುಡ್ಡೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಸೂರ್ಯ ಬರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೂರ್ಯ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ಡ್, ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಣ್ಣಿನ ಗುಡ್ಡೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಸೂರ್ಯನ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಂತರ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ವರ್ಗದ ಗ್ರಹಗಳಂತೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಇಯರ್ಸ್, ಅದೇ ಕಿವಿಯಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವೇದಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಂದ ವೇದಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ದ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಆಕಾಶ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇತರ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಂದ್ರೆ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಬಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟರ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟೀಕರಣಗೊಳಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಈಗೋ ಇದ್ದವರು ನಾನು ನಂದು ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಭಗವಂತ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಾರಣಗಳ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್, ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ್ ಮೇಲೇನೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ವಿಮೋಹನ ಲೀಲಾ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಗೋವರ್ಧನ್ ಲೀಲಾ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ಲೀಲೆಗಳ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಭಗವಂತನೇ ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಅಲ್ಲ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟೀಕರಣಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿರಾಟ ರೂಪದ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಡಿವೋಟೀಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಯಾಮಸುಂದರ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ನ ಅವರು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ತ್ರಿಭಂಗಿ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ನ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಇರುವಂತರು ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಒಂದು ಆಸ್ತಿಕರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ವಿರಾಟ ರೂಪದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಮೆಡಿಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಮತ್ತೆ ದಿವ್ಯ ಚಕ್ಷು ಇದ್ದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಾಲ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೂ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ಸಮಯದ ಅಭಾವ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ ಈ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕದ ಸಾರಾಂಶ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸಾರಗಳ ಸಾರ ಕೃಷ್ಣನೇ. ಸೊ ಈ ಏನ್ ಭಗವಂತನಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ಯೋ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲಾನು ನಾವು ಭಗವಂತನ ಸೇವೆಗಾಗಿ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಇದು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Thank you, Adi Sachimata for nice points, slides. And thank you, Veda Mataji, for summarizing it so that all other devotees can understand in their own language. Anybody else has got very yargadru enadru points idea? Hello.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, Adi Sachimata for your nice explanation, and also showing that PPT pictures. It gives a clear understanding that Lord has a form, that is Sachidananda Vigraha. And for people who believe in Nirakara, also Lord gives them an opportunity, but the culmination is to understand that Lord has a form, Shamsundar. Okay, so one more point I would like to add here is the word Tirthanam is sometimes interpreted to mean the places of pilgrimage, but Srila Prabhupada gives reference by Srila Jiva Goswami says that it means the reception of the Vedic transcendental knowledge. The propounders of the Vedic knowledge are also known as the Tirthas. So there are so many persons by name Tirtha. So Srila Prabhupada also gave initiation to a disciple as a Bhakti Tirtha Swan Maharaj. So the word Tirtha means here the pure devotees of the Lord, wherever they go, they are nothing but Tirtha only. So wherever they stay, and they can create Vaikuntha atmosphere. Just like wherever Srila Prabhupada and his disciples they go, they make it as a Vaikuntha atmosphere. They initiate disciples. They speak about Vaikuntha planet, Goloka planet. This way they are called also Tirthas. Okay. So thank you, Adi Sachimata for your nice explanation. We would like to hear more and more from you. Hare Krishna.
Thanks for the inputs, Prabhu. So if nobody else is there, we can move on to the next